What's going on, guys? Today we're going to be making a high protein healthy version of the Chick-fil-A chicken nuggets in the famous Chick-fil-A sauce. It tastes absolutely amazing. I've been eating this all week long. I can't wait for you guys to try this. As always, all the ingredients and macros are down in the description below. Let's get started. All right, guys, let's start going over everything we're going to need for the chicken nuggets and our Chick-fil-A sauce. So starting off with the stuff we need for the sauce, we have Dijon Mustard, yellow mustard. I'm using G. Hughes honey flavored sugar-free barbecue sauce. You can use any barbecue sauce, but we're trying to keep this as healthy as possible, so we have the sugar-free. A little bit of lemon juice. We are gonna do a little bit of light mayo. If you don't wanna use the light mayo, that's fine. You can just stick with plain high-protein Greek yogurt, which is what we also have up next. Also some honey to add a little bit of extra sweetness. Everything else, we have our seasonings. Some are also gonna go into the sauce, such as like some salt and garlic and paprika. Outside of that, the chicken nuggets are gonna be very simple. We have almond flour for the breading, 2 eggs, paprika, garlic, salt, pepper. That is pretty much it for our breading. We're gonna be dipping the chicken nuggets into the eggs and then into our breading. So I have a whole container of chicken right here. What I did was I cubed chicken and I put it in dill pickle juice and I let it sit for overnight, I'd say about 12 hours. I have made this in the past where I only let it sit in the dill pickle juice for about an hour and it still turned out amazing. You could actually still taste the dill in the pickle juice just from an hour of the chicken sitting. So don't think you have to let this sit overnight, but just for the sake of the video, I have been letting this marinate in the dill pickle juice overnight. One little tip that I have, cut your chicken into bigger cubes, because if you cut them into really small cubes, you have to take every cube, dip it into the egg, and then dip it into the flour. That's gonna take you a while. Go with bigger cubes because you can go ahead and dip them, bread them really nicely, and then put them right in the oven. So our oven's currently going at 425 degrees right now. Let's go ahead and get our chicken nuggets breaded and let's get them cooking while we start on the sauce. Here we have everything that we're gonna need to get started with our chicken nuggets. We're gonna bread them. As I mentioned before, the oven is already preheated to 425. So we're gonna get these breaded and then we're gonna put them right onto the sheet and then right into the oven for 30 minutes. So let's start off by cracking these eggs right into a bowl. I'm gonna be making a lot of chicken, but if you are making a little bit less, you only need 1 egg. All right, I'm gonna use my little fork to go ahead and whisk these eggs up, and then we will get started on our breading for our chicken nugget. Eggs are ready to go, so we're gonna take our almond flour right here. I'm not gonna give any exact measurements because it really doesn't matter. You're probably gonna end up needing more. So go ahead and just put a good amount of that almond flour into a little bowl, and then you can always add more if needed, depending on how much chicken you have. I currently have probably like 3 pounds of chicken. I will need to fill this back up and finish off my chicken nuggets. So start off with a little bit of salt, and then we will also add a little bit of pepper. Pepper's in there. We have our paprika up next. Nice little layer of paprika. It'll add some color to it. And then the most important ingredient is our garlic powder. I like to use it, I like a lot of garlic, so I added some extra garlic powder. Now, all I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take my hands, and it's kind of messy. I'm dropping some on the counter, but I'm just gonna mix this all up together, just with my hands. Not that big of a deal. Probably the easiest way to go about it and get that seasoning, everything nice and mixed together. All right, let's get started with the chicken. So, got a nice nugget like this. Toss it in on both sides. We're gonna get that nicely coated in our breading. Now, make sure you add a nice thick layer of that almond flour, because some of the breading will fall off when you put it in the oven. So it will not hurt to have a little bit of extra breading on there while you're doing this. It'll turn out a little bit better the more breading you have, so definitely don't be scared to get it nice and covered. All right, chicken is in the oven. Now we have everything out here that we need to make our Chick-fil-A sauce. So let's get started. Let's start with our Greek yogurt, actually. I want to put about a half cup of Greek yogurt in here. So we've got roughly about half of a cup of that. We have our light mayo. I'm not a huge fan of mayo, but it is good in this sauce. So we're only gonna do about 1 tablespoon of light mayo in there, just for a little bit of added flavor. We're going to put in about a 1/4 of a cup of our G. Hughes sugar-free barbecue sauce. This is a super essential part of this if you want that smoky barbecue Chick-fil-A sauce flavor. So we got a 1/4 of a cup of that. Now I'm gonna be kind of reusing the same spoon for some stuff here, so bear with me. We're gonna add in just under a tablespoon of honey. That'll add a little bit more sweetness for us. That's pretty much the only sugar that we're gonna have in here. We'll do a tablespoon of our Dijon mustard, and then we're gonna do a tablespoon of regular yellow mustard. We got that in there. Now we're just gonna add a little bit of our lemon juice, probably about a teaspoon of lemon juice, not too much in there. A little bit of added acidity, some good flavor. Now it's time for our spices. So we're gonna actually use a lot of the same spices that we used for the breading for the chicken nuggets. So we'll do a little bit of garlic powder in there. Again, I like to add a lot. Garlic is the best. We have paprika. A little paprika in there. That's gonna give it that nice orangey red Chick-fil-A sauce color. Black pepper and a little bit of salt. This is just pink Himalayan sea salt. Let's mix all this together and see what we're working with. All right, let's try a little bit of our Chick-fil-A sauce. Let's see if we need anything. I'll tell you guys what, this sauce is actually really, really good. It is about as close, I think, as you can get to the actual Chick-fil-A sauce. It has that smoky barbecue taste, the thickness from the Greek yogurt and the little bit of the mayo and the flavor from the mustard. It's sweet, super, super good. Let's see, we got about 20 minutes left on our chicken nuggets. So let's get these finished cooking and let's see what everything looks like when it's done. All right, let's take a look at our chicken nuggets. Let's see how these bad boys are looking. Ooh, that's hot. Ooh, these look amazing. Take a look at that. Those are some Chick-fil-A nuggets right there if I've ever seen them. Let's let these guys cool off a little bit and we'll give them a try. All right guys, this is it. This was super easy to do. The most time-consuming part is probably waiting on your chicken to soak in that pickle juice. They are finally done and they look absolutely amazing. Let's give them a try. Oh my God. They're so good. These taste absolutely amazing. All right, I'm gonna go so I can eat all these. I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.